Namaskar. Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am RVD and this is going to be the next lecture in my playlist Placement Interview Questions on C Programming, where C Programming is simplified. So this is going to be the last installment of the topic operators, and in this particular video we'll be looking at the last types of operators, that is special operators. Okay, so we have already seen a variety of the operators, and out of that the topmost one, the priority wise highest priority operators, are going to be special operators. So we will look at the list of special operators first, and we will brief about each of them, because these operators are going to be used in individual chapters as we'll go ahead. I'll even tell you in which chapters these particular special operators are going to be more significant. Fine, so these are, as I already said, topmost priority operators. Okay, if you have seen my video on precedence and associativity of the operators, you would have seen the three slabs I have given, and the topmost slab out of that are of special operators. Okay, so they have higher priority or highest priority over all other operators. So this is a list of special operators. There are 5 of them, and we are going to look at each of the special operator in brief. So to start with, the first one is called function call operator. And it is specifically because whenever we call a function, we have to use this particular operator, and this is used for passing the arguments. Now I already said special operators are topmost priority. Out of that, function call operator is the first one. So it's bound to have the highest priority of all the operators. Even though functions we have not seen yet, we will be looking at maybe the library functions very soon in the further videos. I'll have a video on math library itself, so where I'll be able to show you the library functions, and you would see whenever I'm calling a function like this. Let me show you with the example. So whenever I'm calling a function, say I want the square root of x. So let's say y equal to sqrt is the function. Don't bother about it right now. It is just being taken as an example for the time being. So sqrt of x. So sqrt is a function, and when I'm making a call, I require to pass what? Arguments. So obviously, whenever I use this particular operator during a function call, it is used to pass the argument. So it has got a topmost priority. Suppose I'm combine this with some multiplication or division and whatever it is, first sqrt will be immediately mapped with x, because x acts as an argument. There is one more use of this when we work with the expression. So suppose I want to say, let's say z is equal to a plus b into c. Now as per priority, your multiplication will be done first. But suppose I want the addition to be done first, I can put that a plus b in bracket. And bracket being the highest priority, a plus b will be done first. So that's the another advantage of function call operator. It can also be used in expression to provide higher priority, okay, to some of the operators. So here my addition operator is being provided with the higher priority as compared to multiplication, and that is how I can have function call operator. The next one is subscript operator. A very simple use of subscript operator is with arrays. So whenever I want to create an array, or even if I want to access the individual element, it is going to be the subscript operator. Okay, it will obviously be the second highest after function call. So if you look at the example, again we are not very clear about arrays. We have further chapter where we are going to learn arrays in detail. So just take this as an example for the time being. So if I want to create an array, let's say int a square bracket, which is a subscript operator, and I provide the size. This is the first time I'm using subscript operator for creation of the array. Similarly, if I want to access the individual element, let's say a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, so on, again I can use subscript operator. So as I said, it is used for the creation of arrays as well as while accessing the individual element of the array. Okay, subscript is nothing but the square brackets. Fine. The next operator we will be having in the special category is direct member access operator. Now this operator will be specifically used during structures. Okay, it is also called as dot operator because this is how it looks like. The symbol is dot, and it is being used to access the member of the structure directly from its variable. Okay, we'll obviously look at what exactly it means, and I'll tell you why it is called as direct member access operator. So assume that I have a structure X which contains ABC. Again, just as an example, how to create a structure and all these things is going to be there in detail when we'll go for structure. So how do I access these members? A belongs to whom? X. So I will say X dot A. Matlab X ka A, as if I'm saying X ka A. So X dot A, X dot B, X dot C. So now tell me, what is A? It's a member. It belongs to whom? It belongs to X. So isn't it this dot allows me to access the member directly from its variable, and hence it is called as direct member access. See, it is accessing the member of the structure directly from its variable. I guess at this point this much is sufficient. In structure we will be using this in detail, that is dot operator or direct member access operator, right? So we'll be using it in the structure chapter. Next is scope resolution operator, which is being used as a global reference operator. So whenever there is a conflict between scope of the global variable and local variable, actually the local variable is always given more preference. So if I want to access the global variable, I can make use of scope resolution operator. Again, this will be more significant in function chapter, where we will be learning the concepts like scope of a variable, global variable, local variable, how do we have a conflict between the scope, and then you will realize how to use this scope resolution. Currently, just for the matter of example, I can just show you, suppose only A, variable A, is accessing the local copy, then scope resolution A will surely access the global copy. And that's what is the basic concept of scope resolution operator. Now to end with, we'll have indirect member access operator, which is also called as arrow operator. Okay, it is also used with structure, but specifically it is used with pointer to structure concept. So whenever I have a pointer to structure, I'll be making use of arrow operator to access the member. So it is used to access the member not from the variable directly, but it is being used to access the member from the pointer. So it is indirect access, and hence it is being called as indirect member access operator. Again, I don't know how much you'll be able to understand the example, but I'm just giving you. So suppose I have sample X which contains ABC, which I already said. If I create a pointer, let's say sample star T, and if I store the address of X in that, then I cannot say X dot A, because your now T is point. I can say X dot A, but if I want to say using T, I cannot say T dot A. I will be saying star of T dot A, or instead of writing all these things, I can say T arrow A. Okay, I already said I don't know how much you'll be able to understand this at this point of time, because all these things rather would be very easy when we will actually get into structures and we'll learn pointer to structure. But remember one thing, whenever I have an arrow operator, on this side I'll have a member, and on this side I have a pointer. So the member does not belong to pointer, but the member belongs to the variable pointed by pointer. So am I accessing the member directly or indirectly? The answer is indirectly, and hence arrow operator is called as indirect member access operator. So I guess you can correlate. Dot is direct member access, arrow is indirect member access. Right, so these are the special operators which we have, and they obviously have the topmost priority, as we've already seen. Fine, so that was it about operators. Okay, with this we have done with operators, we have completed and we have covered all the rich set of operators which C programming provides. Okay, and now we are ready rather to go ahead with building of expressions. But I guess before that we would be needing the concept of math library. Okay, so in my next video I'll be coming up with the concept of math library. Okay. This time before leaving, I'll be asking you some question based on what I've taught already, and I would appreciate if at all you maybe rewatch the videos where you'll be able to find the answer of this question and post your answer in comments. I'm giving you two operators. I want you to arrange them as per higher priority and lower priority. So I'll use the same slides. I have a first operator called as indirection operator. Okay, I hope all of you remember indirection operator from the unary operator we had seen, that is asterisk. And the other operator which I have is just now I had said dot operator. Okay, dot or indirect direct member access. Okay, so these are the two operators. I want all of you to arrange them as which one is higher priority and which one is the lower priority. Okay, so I'm expecting your answers in the comment. Fine, so that was it as far as operators are concerned, and that's it from me in this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself. Thank you and happy learning.